I like that it just takes me there.
Yeah.
It's great. So, welcome to Brothers and Booze. Don?
Welcome, 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 as John Oliver would say.
Yeah, we got to work on that intro, but whatever. Who
Yeah,
cares?
that's all right, man.
I don't know who cares, right? All right.
Yeah.
So today I have a smorgasbord here. My refrigerator is backed up. It's been kind of a crazy week, so I'm gonna start. Because I don't know how many of these I'm gonna get
Yeah,
through.
you're gonna go however many go. So
We're gonna go light to heavy. We're gonna start with. Everybody's gonna be surprised at this one. Truly hard seltzer.
what
Yes,
variety? What
for the
variety?
record, for all the fun I make on the Facebook page and the last that we have in a group, I've had a few hard seltzers, and I'm about to have another one. I'm not against these things. I don't really have an opinion on them. Um, I generally don't think they're my thing. This pours, this pours
Clear?
like a seltzer.
Yeah.
I feel even bad using this glass. This is a beer glass. I don't. What do you use for seltzer? Someone has to tell me. Someone in the comments.
I think for me, I would just drink it straight out of the can, but I know this kind of sacrilege in our show, but that face says it all.
Uh, it's all right. I mean, it's black. It's black cherry. It has a little bit of flavor, but like this is not beer, nor should it be compared to it, nor should it be in the same. Hmm. Look, I don't care if brewers do it because if
Yeah.
they take off the bottom two, their worst beers, and they put on seltzers, and people are drinking them, I don't have a problem with it. This is just not it.
Not your jam.
It's it tastes like artificial black. It tastes like artificial black cherry.
Okay.
Like I guess every black cherry thing is artificial, but this tastes like art. It just tastes okay.
Overly
So
so.
we're moving on.
Yeah.
I'll take another sip, but
Yeah, you got to make sure it's wasn't like your first plate. Yeah.
I'm not sure what you expect me to be impressed by this.
No. I think
It's
that's
not my
kind
thing.
of I think it's its own kind of category, like its own little side niche. Kind of like we talked about, like Michelob Ultra and all those like super low calorie beers that are for like the workout crew. That's kind
Yeah,
of where I think it reaches. It's oh well, it's lower calorie because it's seltzer as opposed to whatever. But
I don't know what I'm doing myself this week, but I'm starting this whole week off with stuff that I think that I don't like. So we're gonna jump right here before we even get to you with Light and Google Summer
yeah,
Shandy.
one of my
It's one of
favorites
the
for summer, dude.
ah. But the quick backstory on this one is that I've told you the story before, but I have it in my hand, so I'm gonna tell it again. I went to Light and Google's brewery tour. We had an
Mhm.
insider tour. We go all if you've never been there, it's like a 4-story thing. It's
Okay.
big. And when they start their brewing at the top and they use gravity because it's such an old system, instead of pumps, they use gravity. So they use the
Really?
gravity to pump the beer. So you go all the way up the top, and the fermenters are up there, and Jacob Line and Google was there, and he's like, hey, I got something for you out of the fermenters. And everybody's like, when a brewer wants to give you something out of fermenters, here's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
tip. You do it
Yes.
all the time. Right. So he hands it to us. We take a sip. We're like, oh, this is amazing. What is it? And he's like, oh, that's the shandy without any any additives. So it's a shandy before it gets to lemon, before it gets the berry. What are the other ones? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was one of the best beers that I had that whole weekend. We were on a beer tour in a bus. It was fantastic. I loved it. Then I went back down to Liney's Lodge, which is excellent. If you ever come out to Wisconsin, we'll go to Liney's Lounge, man, because I know you like this beer. But we'll just go because it's just a cool place to go. And I tasted this, and I was like, oh. So that was a few years ago. People love it. Speak to you. What do you think of this beer? What is your opinion on it?
I think I said this before in the show. Is like that's one of my ones that when summer comes and I see it, I grab a 6-pack, maybe 2 of them, and they're awesome for me after I've been done working in the yard. And I'm sweaty and I'm hot. It's super to me. It's very thirst quenching.
Lawnmower beer,
Very much so for me. Not
shower
I,
beer.
Unironically, not a shower beer for me.
Why?
I don't know this. It's the lemon part in the shower. I don't know why that's kind of weird for me, but I'm a weird guy. So hey,
Right. Well, I love that. Again, we've already had the shower beer conversation 1,000 times, And I always think of, to me, I always equivocate a lawnmower beer to a shower beer, but clearly that's not it, right?
It could be. Most of them are for me. So, all right. So let's head to
Lemon. You get the heavy lemon, like a
Mhm.
like a lemon pie, which I love. Okay, here we go.
Cheers.
Totally open-minded. Um, it's not as bad as I remember it. How about that?
High praise.
No, it's a rattler, it's a fruit beer, it's a lawnmower beer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Again, I'm never going to say that's like a great beer. There's just something very satisfying when you're really hot and you're really thirsty. And
Mhm.
just that lemon combined with the light beer. I don't know why I like that one so much, but I do.
A little, bit of a like little bite at the end. I don't know. I get it. I get the appeal. I get why people like it. It's not overly sweet. I thought it was going to be more sweeter than this.
No.
Look, I poured another one.
And like I said, it's not something like if I'm not like, I wouldn't have that like in my fridge and drink that any other time of year other than summer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's not what I would look for, but it
Is
is
this
something.
one? Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
I was gonna say it is very much it's just if I'm hot and sweaty, like that's the only time I really drink it. I think it's part of why I don't really, for some reason, don't like it in the shower because I go in the shower to get rid of the hot and sweaty, not to
Ah,
So maybe
gotcha.
that's why they have some
So,
mental block on that one. I don't know.
right. So when we say beer, there's a beer for what was that? Anyway, when we say there's a beer for every occasion, so this is Doug's sweaty beer.
Yeah. So like if I'm gardening or mowing grass or like doing anything outside, like afterwards, that and the other beer that I really like is rhubarb schmoobarb from Rogue, but that's because it's a tart, bright beer.
Mhm.
But it's not something I would drink outside of just being like, I need something that's really quenching my thirst, but also gives me that nice beer flavor that I want after working my ass off in the yard.
Is this one that you seek out every year? So do you want a summer shandy every year?
Yeah.
Hmm. I know a lot of people like that. Like when it comes out, they're like, "Wow, give me!" I just want it. It's cool. I actually ended up getting this. The reason I have it is because I went down to Orlando, and shout out to Tom Walters, who took me on a really wonderful tour of Orlando. He drove us around. He's like, "I'm not gonna drink. I'll be the DD. I just want to show you Orlando beer." So I was like, "What do you need me to do?" He's like, "The next time I go to Home.con, which is in November, can you bring me some the freshest you can get shandy? Because I know you're on there." So I'm like, cool. So I went to the liquor store this week, and they're like, "This is the last. This is it, buddy."
That's it.
So I'm like, "All right," I grabbed it, and so it's good. I don't know, man. Look at it; it's pretty dark. I don't know. I drank my second pour of it. It's better than I thought it was. Cheers.
And,
What you got?
well, I'm glad you kept an open mind on that because it's hard when you have a bad experience with something to kind of not have that taint what you're going to have the next time. So kudos to you, sir.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, man. So I'm going to be doing all dessert beers tonight as we posted.
Oh.
So, and I don't mean dessert beers like they're designed to be just like, here's your dessert. I mean, beers that are, have dessert qualities to them or made to sound like desserts. Like the first I'm going to do is the oatmeal raisin cookie from Cigar City.
Oh.
Brown ale, that's a oatmeal raisin cookie style.
Okay.
The addition of raisin, cinnamon, and milk sugar to our full-bodied and chocolatey brown ale base creates a unique beer that tastes exactly like it was pulled out of grandma's oven. I mean, a lot of people are big fans of Cigar City. Their Maduro is pretty popular, so is their High Lie.
Yes.
So
They're hot.
didn't they just?
Or you so. Sure.
I was gonna say, didn't they? I think they just got bought out by InBev or one of the big groups recently too. But I could be wrong.
They collaborated with another craft beer place.
That may be what I'm thinking of. So, our friend Kevin McKeever, who Mad Elf hater, said this was outstanding. So,
yeah, Cigar City Oak Highlight is amazing.
Yeah, I actually even like that one, and I'm not a fan generally of that style. So, So let's pour
The
this.
regular High Life is all right.
Yeah.
But the big High Life is the old one.
Well, I haven't had.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
See how nice, and that's a brown ale. It's actually darker than what I would have expected. All right. On the nose, I get the cinnamon. No raisin notes. So cinnamon is there, not overpowering. So I don't get a lot of the raisin flavor, but the cinnamon and milk sugar flavors are definitely there. Mixed with the brown ale is pretty good. So I had one of these before, and I had very high hopes for it because Kevin had talked so highly of it. And when I drank it first, I was like, but now that I'm doing the same thing you did with the summer shandy, the lemon shandy is, I wanted to kind of just be like, all right, forget that, since you just set such a good example of that. Now that I'm having it second time, I actually quite like it, but it doesn't taste exactly like an oatmeal raisin cookie, like Kevin said. Maybe obviously to him it did. To me, it is missing the raisin flavor, but still tastes like a dessert. So definitely.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, and it's weird. You know how you have a sugar cookie and you have that like grainy sugar flavor on the top, because it's the sugar dusting on the top.
Yes.
It almost tastes like that, if that makes sort of sense. So yeah, much better the second time around. I wasn't impressed the first time. This time I'm glad I picked that to have.
Look at that. Look at both of us going back to things we didn't like to see what was going on.
Yeah. It could have just been, how there's some days you're just in the mood for certain things. And maybe I picked a day I wasn't in the mood for that sort of thing, and just it tainted what I was trying to drink. So all in the cup.
So can you see what I'm sharing now?
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to do this. Look at that. Oh, that's a great website with that freaking bird there, man.
Yes, this was someone close to me went to Iceland and ended up bringing this bad boy back. I hear it's pretty good, but I didn't read the description. I didn't know anything about it. Sitting up on my kitchen table for the longest time, or my kitchen counter. I don't know anything about it, so I chilled it today. But the description here kind of scares me. So it's gonna be
dark. It looks like if you're drinking like a haunted spirit, literally.
Well, the secret of Brennivin, Iceland's signature. This is Iceland's signature spirit. Is the balance between the pure and soft Icelandic water, which is cool, and a robust, savory flavor of caraway.
Wow.
What's caraway again? Isn't that
That's a flavor that's used a lot in like Indian cooking and things like that.
Is caraway in? Aren't those caraway seeds in rye bread?
Yes. So maybe I'm wrong on that, but I thought it was used in that.
I absolutely hate caraway seeds. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see where we go here.
Oh no.
Caraway is freaking licorice, isn't it?
Caraway seeds are frequently used in baking, rye and soda bread, or caraway, traditional ingredient British seed cake. Used in curries and stuff like that, and and even liquors such as the Scandinavian spirit akavit, which is what you have right there. Does it smell licoricey? Is that what you're getting? You and I are both of the mind that liquor.
I was determined not to do this last because I just didn't want to end on and I'm glad I didn't because I don't know about this caraway. So let's
give it a taste.
Oh,
what does it? Is it clear? Or is it dark? Okay, clear.
And then the bottle's clear.
Yeah.
The only thing that you see a little condensation. That's because I chilled it, but it's clear as day. Well, cheers. Okay, I got my. Look at this. I have my summer shandy as my chaser. Look at this. I'm expanding all the time. Then it's your fault. Okay. The cat that licorice taste is there, but it doesn't end it. The end is really more like alcohol-y. It's not. It's pretty good actually, dog. I prefer this in something. Can we mix this with something? Because the caraway for me is just too much.
Yeah.
Even though it's more subtle than I thought it was going to be,
Yeah. Is it
and
like,
it's not as prevalent as it is in the nose.
yeah.
Like the nose scared me away.
Is it like Sambuca? Have you ever had that? Which is it's like a licorice liqueur, which smells
It's
super black licorice style.
yeah. I can't do that shit.
And I will tell you that stuff, like you drink it, it tastes like liquid black licorice. That's not
Right. No, this is okay, so you know how we talk about front, back, and middle? In the middle is where you really get the caraway. And I have to finish this, so I'm gonna do a little bit more. The middle is where you get it. There's a nice little here, let me put this back up quick. There's a nice little um okay, so we had robust savory flavor caraway, while the spices grow wild in Iceland despite the harsh climate. I thought it gave you more. There's a little bit of a citrus taste here. Let me.
Huh. I wonder if that's the reaction of the caraway to the particular kind of water they use.
Yeah, it finishes like like alcohol.
Like vodka, maybe?
Kind of finishes like vodka, but it's not. The aftertaste is not caraway, and as you see, I'm not running for water or even my chaser that I had here. This is refreshing. It's this gives me like in the summer. I want to do this in the summer. If I'm going to take shots of this, I want to do it in the summer. It's light, it's airy, it's refreshing. It's pretty good for having fucking licorice in it. So
Yeah.
cheers. Actually,
Great.
I wonder what we would mix this with though. I wanna mix this. I want to have more of this, but I don't want it to be just like the whole thing.
Yeah, you want to have it as like a cocktail or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I don't know, the person who bought it doesn't like licorice either, and she enjoyed it. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, actually. Um, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I would think,
If you have any of that left when we meet up in either DC or Brooklyn, I'd love to try that. I really would.
yeah. And as I told you, I might as well just say here, I'm definitely a dad too this year. Um, it's not. It's like 95%, and the 5% is bad stuff.
Life.
Right. Correct.
Always,
So
there's always a variable there.
yeah. I'm ready to open a real beer.
You got
Um,
way more stuff than I do. I have two more after this, and that's a whole freaking laundry list of things.
Now this one actually, let me not do this one. Let me wait because I can do some research on that one. Let me do matchless, matchless, matchless,
Forgotten format.
forgotten format.
That
It's
is a nifty freaking label.
yeah. Look at it. It's like a what is that? Video games on there,
Game, an abacus,
right?
like holy
Oh,
shit, like a VCR tape,
I get it. Forgotten format.
calipers. I get it. Yeah, you're right.
Right. Matchless is Matchless is Washington, I believe. Matchless is it's it says Matchless Tumwater, Washington. Um, yeah. So it's Washington beer. It's a pils. So we're gradually getting up the scale here. I love pils. I've come back for pilsners. I used to dislike them. I come back to like them. Miss Afro Beer Chick, in my opinion, Pilsner is an overrated beer style. Everybody loves it. Pilsner is basically Budweiser or, that could fit into that category of Pilsner, in my opinion, is those light, drinkers. This looks like a lawnmower shower. Shower beer is a Pilsner. Oh, this is fantastic. This is what you want in a Pilsner. It's light, airy, beautiful. There's a it's again, this is a good Budweiser. There's some flavor to it. It's not too corny. Budweiser's really
Yeah.
corny. Man, this one goes down
Corn syrup.
easy, fast, beautiful. Love it. Love it. This is a good one.
Well,
Matchless. Forgotten format.
well, Pilsner's done well are really good, but there's not I don't find a lot of them that are done tremendously well.
Oh, this one.
Is
Mm.
it, does it? So what's the buttons that it's pushing for you that make it good for you?
Well, let's see here. I don't know the hops here are Spolar hops. I'm not familiar with those. I like this because check this out. So they put like the hops, the malt, the yeast, the descriptors.
That's the
Look at
Chris
that. I love
Pearl.
that.
That is cool.
They
Oh,
tell you. I don't know if you
wait,
could.
it's
I don't know.
spelled in it. Wow, awesome.
Yeah. I would love. I understand that brewers don't want to do this. Like they're just like giving away the recipes, but at some point they got to cut. There needs to be a middle ground. Like if you ever go to Three Floyds or some of these breweries and like you look in the back of it and they're like telling a story about the space gods and this, that, and the other thing, and that's cool. But sometimes I want to know what the hell's in the beer. Like, if I really like a beer, I want to know what's in it. If I really don't like it, I want to know what's in it. So, like, I kind of want to know what's in it, but I understand. But I like this label. This is a great label. And this is a great beer. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So far, you've been really a couple pleasant surprises so far for you. It seems like things you weren't expecting to be good.
Yeah, and the seltzer was a seltzer, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, you kind of knew walking into that, like anything with seltzer, I'm gonna be just like immediately expecting it to really be bad because I really don't like seltzer water, but that is what
Yeah.
it is.
I was hoping for it to be like I was hoping for them to inject a little bit more flavor. But I guess the thing with those things again is that they're light and they don't have calories or sugar. So
Yeah.
like that's the draw for people, and I got it. I'm not even gonna. Yeah, we don't even need to spend any more time on that. So, yeah, this is good time. Good time.
Cheers, man. So
Cheers.
I'm gonna go with my next one here. This is one that I have never had, and I've never had anything that sounds quite like it. I'm a big fan of Scotch ales. This one is a Neapolitan Scotch ale. So basically, they're kind of making it seem like ice cream Neapolitan. And basically, what's that?
I said okay very reluctantly.
Yeah, I'm with you because I'm a little worried about this one. But
Right. I don't know if
so,
those flavors mix.
so I'm going to give you what they have as ingredients. They actually list these how they made it here. So, pardon me. An ice cream twist on a classic Scotch ale. This brew was originally crafted in collaboration with the Rochester Beer Market, brewed with lactose for a silky smooth body, then conditioned on vanilla, cocoa nibs, and 1 pound per gallon of strawberry puree. This Neapolitan variation keeps our classic Scotch ales full body and sweet caramel flavor that we've all come to cherish. So 7% ABV. A fan of that. Oh boy, foaming it up. All right, so it is like literally strawberries and Scotch ale. That's what it smells like.
Okay. Is that a good thing or we don't?
I'm not sure. They're separate. It's not like they're melding. So also I want to give a shout out to Beer Tree Brew Works for the very nice stemware for glassware that they gave me. I was there this week with my wife. So here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Mm-mm.
So Scotch ale color. I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah. Nice
That's a
little
boozy
glass.
Scotch ale smell. The strawberry is not as prominent when you pour it out. The can coming out when you snipped it right out of the can. That was like, all right, here's strawberries and here's Scotch ale.
Okay.
Okay, that's really delicious.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just as surprised as you.
Right. So they pulled that shit off. Okay.
Yeah, so like it's got the sweet ice cream and the strawberry ice cream flavor, a little bit of vanilla flavor, a little bit of the chocolate's almost not perceptible, just barely. And then the Scotch ale flavor comes in at the end. It's just ice cream and then Scotch ale, and it's fucking good. I'm really pleasantly surprised by that.
Nice. So you still there's a strawberry, there's hints of strawberry, but you still know that it's a Scotch ale.
Yes. So here's how it breaks down. Come in vanilla right off the top, but that goes away pretty quick. Then it comes into strawberry, and then that's prominent for a bit, and then a very thin layer of chocolate, and then the Scotch ale. That's how it's layered. And I'm always fascinated when they can layer flavors like that, where it's not all
Yes.
blended together, where you just here's all the flavors and they're stacked, and you just go. It's like going down an elevator of flavor. That's the only way I can equate it. But like they just built that super well. And this is a fairly local brewery for me, Rohrbach, which is out of Rochester, New York. So I've had several of their beers. Their Scotch ale's outstanding. So that's why I was like, well, I kind of have to try that because I've never done that. So yeah, it's
unique as fuck too, by the way.
unique as fuck is exactly the way to describe that because
I've never heard that or
never
seen any
heard
kind of
of
that. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought to do that, but the
You
idea.
know,
I think
I
their
was
idea.
in Scotch ale country too. So
What's that?
I was just in Scotch ale country, and I didn't see
true.
anything like that.
It's so like I think, however, they divvied up the puree per gallon is excuse me, all that beer is spot on. It just like it's just the right amount. Like it's how sometimes it's just that little fine line, and strawberry can be really heavy handed because it doesn't take much. But with the Scotch ale, man, it's just Scotch ale is so strong on its own with its flavors that it just really works.
And you're not are you a fruited Scotch ale person?
No, I like Scotch ales as is or barrel aged, and that's what I like in my Scotch ales. I don't generally like them when they fuss with them too much outside of their normal flavor profile. This I recommend to anybody. If you can find it, try it. It's really, really good. Again, it's something that is it's a one beer thing because it's so unique and different that you're not gonna like. I'm not saying I couldn't drink two. I could because the Scotch ale is what wins out at the end. So I'm getting that Scotch ale thing that I really crave that I want out of it. But like, and the sweetness isn't like so much that you're just like, ugh. No, it's just really, really well balanced. That's bravo, Rohrbach. That was fucking excellent.
Nice. I'm pleasantly surprised it all worked out. To me,
I was not very hopeful for it.
Right. Well, fruited Scotch ales probably fit in that same category as fruited porters. Like, it's just not my thing. And you really have to be subtle about that fruit in order for it to work.
Yeah. And again, it's the vanilla and the chocolate are super subtle. The strawberry it's not a hitting you in the face thing at all. It's just, again, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. I'm repeating myself, but it's just really well balanced.
Well, that's great. I love it. We're really 100 here, man.
Yeah, we're really rolling with some surprises tonight. I'm really happy with this. This is great. Like we've had some nights where we're just like, oh man, I picked some fucking duds tonight.
Right. So we're going to segue to I've been moving up. So I went to a Pilsner, started at a damn seltzer. I went to a Rattler, basically, which Summer Sandy is. We go to a Pilsner now. Actually, I should probably wait for the one I want to do right now. And probably do this one. Matchless again. We'll wait for that next one. I'm gonna go for what we're gonna go for tonight.
Whatever you want, dude.
Oh, Atlanta scored. Excellent. There's a soccer game on. I love the Atlanta soccer team, so I have them on right here, and I'm looking at them. Matchless again. I got these out of Montana. One of my friends works there or works around there, and he got them. It's a table beer.
So is that like a farmhouse ale or like, you know what I mean? I've never heard of a table beer.
I don't know, but let's see, the hops are Mosaic and Galaxy.
Ooh,
I think a table beer is the window dry hop table beer. Oh, beautiful.
ooh, that's gonna be
I should
hoppy.
have I should have opened this earlier. I think a table beer is if please correct me in the comments, anyone, if I get it wrong. I think a table beer is a low ABV beer that you can just have around your table. It's not supposed to be like a big let's see if I see ABV here.
Right.
Not supposed to be a big beer. It's supposed to be, I think it's like tables like session.
Okay.
So you have like a table beer, you have a session beer, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's happening, it'll happen again. Anyway, oh, I missed the lining Google's glass for the linies. Whatever. Fuck it. There's a
So
lot of cussing on the show tonight, man. How was your week?
as you can tell, it was weak. I was like, man, I cannot wait for the show.
You can tell I've cussed every other word. So yeah, I've had one of those.
But I'm looking at this thing on here. They say it's table beer. It's also listed as a. All right, so I'm going to look at Allagash's version of what they're saying. All right, so what do you got there? How's it?
Hoppy.
Well, considering the hops it was using Galaxy and Mosaic, I would have, and it was dry hopped.
Yeah, and it's still, I don't know. Like I said, I got these in Montana, and I don't know how old they were in Montana, but I haven't been in Montana for 2 months. So, or a month and a half or something like that. So,
Yeah.
Here we go. Tastes like it tastes like, if I had to guess, it tastes like a dry hopped Hefeweizen. Mm-hmm. Clove, a little bit of banana at the end here. All on the nose is the hops. I'm not getting any hops out of the. I wouldn't say any, but no, this tastes like a dry hop Hefeweizen.
Well,
The end is like, again, everything you want. I don't know, you're familiar with Hefeweizens.
Yeah.
The banana clove kind of spiciness a little bit, with the nose of a fucking hoppy beer.
Yeah. Well, what I'm reading on here is just basically that what is the usually the markers of a table beer are the low ABV, and they say it's like 1.5 to 3% ABV usually. And,
Oh, wow.
if you were Belgian, the very first beer you probably had was a table beer. So, so while it's not a Belgian style beer in tradition, that's something that they would use for their meals. And they said they're also generally malt forward. Hops are mostly a background player, but sounds like what you're telling me is that, especially in the nose, not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know. When you dry hop it, you make it. You kind of make the hops more of a frontline thing. But no, yeah, this is spicy like a Belgian. So, and that's like, I think that's where I'm getting like the Heffa part, and maybe that's what they wanted to do is make it like a, like a Heffa light, again, table beer. This would be refreshing actually for breakfast.
Well, it's a
I
low.
will be down with that. So
that
now
would be a cool brunch kind of beer, maybe.
this is like, yeah, oh, absolutely, nailed it. Brunch, nailed it all day long.
If you can have what's the thing, mimosas at brunch, you can freaking have a table beer at brunch. I think.
Absolutely. How you can have a breakfast stout, in my opinion, but that's me.
Well, we've seen breakfast stouts are not a uncommon thing, especially like Founders has a breakfast stout that's excellent. So, yeah.
Fuck Founders, but yes, you're correct. But anyway, we're not gonna touch that. You see what I just put? You can see what I posted, right?
Yeah.
Allende. I have the middle one. I got this from I think it's called the International Beer Club. They send you a case of they send you 12 beers, 4 different. And this is the one I got sent. This is from Mexico. And
so which one did you get? The lager, the brown ale? Which one?
I have
or the IPA.
The IPA.
Nice.
Mm,
I've never heard of this brewery ever.
I don't like how it's smelling, dog.
So what
So
does it smell like?
that's. It smells like it's freaking old. Oh, come on now. How old is this?
Oh no.
Don't let me get. Don't let me get in your people. Shh. Let's see here. Um, I don't know. It says 5/01/2020. I guess that's your expiration date. I don't know how they do things in Mexico. It
Yeah.
doesn't smell like an IPA. It
Okay.
smells like it's missing some hops already before I even sip it.
Okay.
So, ugh. But we're gonna go through. Let's see.
Give it a roll, man.
Mhm. Um. uh, uh, this is lost as hops. This is not fresh.
Okay.
Um. I I'm tasting a lot of malt. In an IPA.
All what you would expect out of an IPA.
No, and I don't care. This is I need to figure out international beer club or something. Not cool because I don't know. Um, again, I got it about a week ago, so it's not that old. IPAs you got to drink the second they come, but
And it's super dark for an
it
IPA.
look yeah, it's super malty. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's getting put over to the side.
That would be.
If this,
I think you have enough other things to drink that I think you'll be fine if you kind of shove that one off to the side.
yeah, I actually drank everything that's right in front of me.
That's great.
What
Tipsy
time?
Greg is great, Greg.
So no, that's not it. In fact, that was the worst one actually. That IPA.
I know.
Ah,
Was it worse than the seltzer?
wow. Beer. How about that? I would probably drink the seltzer if you force me. Actually, so there you go. Because the
But
seltzer, I'm
it's
pretty
free
sure
and
is how.
it's free and it's the only thing to drink here. That
Well, that and I know that's what they wanted. This is what they wanted me to drink this way. I'm pretty sure the brewer did not want me to have this because it has no hop presence, and I was excited for it because it was Mexican.
yeah.
So
I would have been interested to try their lager because Mexican lagers can have a lot of flavor that American lagers don't. To me, like I really like. I will. I know it sounds corny, but I like Dos Equis. And their lagers, I think, are really good, but their flavor profile is just a wee bit different. And I
yeah.
think it's because it's different water,
Mhm.
and it doesn't give you Montezuma's Revenge. So that's good.
Dos Equis is. I found Dos Equis. I think I found Dos Equis like everybody else found it, or mostly. I found it in a Mexican restaurant, and I enjoyed the hell out of it with
Yeah.
whatever I was eating.
It's
So
very
no
good
wrong.
with Mexican food. That's for damn sure. All that
Right,
stuff,
right,
awesome. Like
right. So
perfect.
right, I'm not talking down on anybody who has Dos Equis or likes it. And does Dos Equis have? They have a couple. Don't they have a dark?
They do have a dark. The dark is actually, if they have that, I choose that because the dark lager that they have is really quite good. I really do enjoy it.
Is that a Hey, Cork Envy says hello. What's up, Cork? We're gonna have Mr. Cork Envy on here soon
Oh,
because
that's gonna be good.
I'm doing his podcast in a couple weeks,
Yeah,
and then after that he'll jump on here again and we'll talk about what happened on his crazy podcast. I don't know if you ever heard it, but it's kind of crazy.
I have.
Anyway,
I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but like I
it's
love
funny.
the variety of the idea. Just so I have to. And the problem is I have a million things I listen to because I commute.
Hmm. On
Back.
top of
I need
two
to cut
things you
out some
produce.
time for that.
On top of two things you produce too. So you have a podcast, you have this,
Yeah.
you have 6,000 kids, like I love to say.
I don't have
So,
6,000, but sometimes it feels like that. Although
I love the hyperbole, man. It's great.
we did drop one of our kids off at college today, so that was the first kid we were
Yeah.
off to college. So that was interesting. Cheers to Alex.
Cheers. I'm sure interesting, emotional on all kinds of levels. I can't even relate to you.
Well, what it was weird, it was I haven't hit the emotional part yet, and I think it's just because he's always around. He's the only kid that lives with us full time. So like I'll notice it during the week when he's not around, and that's when it'll hit me. And I know that. So, it was something where, like Jill and Jen went, and so did Kyle and Eric and I. We all went, and I know Jen and Jill kind of cried over it, and that's to be expected. That's cool. Like Kyle and Eric and I were just more like, well, on our way back, it was more like Kyle and Eric passed out because we got up early for them because God, those kids are sleepers. They sleep till noon. Sometimes it's freaking crazy. But
right.
but we'll get over our emotions with it and deal with it as best we can, and it'll be fine. But it's weird to just be like, all right, you're now going to kind of live in your own little bubble over there, and just kind of, all right, make your way. So.
I feel you. So I don't know. Do you have another one?
I have one more, and I saved one that I had when I bought a 4-pack of it, and it was, I don't know. I'll go into it. But
Okay. Well, is it time for a word from our sponsor?
Yes.
Because I'm gonna go see what I have back here, and I'm gonna bring some more goodies out.
Please do. So, folks, while we wait for our sponsor, the next one when Greg comes back, I'm going to try this one. Southern Tier Nitro Chocolate Milkshake Imperial Milk Stout. So strap in because this is going to be a fun one. Now we play the Jeopardy theme. I'm super entertaining on my own. Really, I am. I could also tell about 150 dad jokes, but I'd like you to not lead. Really, I would. So, again, thank you all for being part of this. I know Greg and I are kind of zooming through a lot of things sometimes, but our enthusiasm for this is, we have such a great time doing this, and we like having everybody with us. So, we hope you continue to join us, and we're having a blast. Hope you guys are too. All right, Greg, sponsor time.
Yes, we have none. So, wow, what did I pull out here? So, you're up next, right? Or you want me? Should I just pour another one and then we'll save yours for later? This one. I have to.
I'll go next. You go and pull up what you got there.
This one is a very interesting one. Maybe you even want to pull this one up. Fresh bong water hemp ale. Did we do this one yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. The look at your face, Brad.
The name would have made me spit out my beer before, so which I always did there. So I'm pretty sure we're this is new territory. So bring it on.
Yeah. Fresh bong water hemp ale. Okay, people. It has the weed symbol in it, but it has no weed in it. It has hemp. I've had this before. This is Kettle House. They are Montana Brewery. They are the brewery that make. Again, I'm gonna miss this. It sucks. They're the brewery that makes the Scotch ale out there. That is like the Scotch ale, the one that everybody like has to have one because they made one. These are the Scotch ale people. The Scotch ale is their flagship. This is apparently something they play around with. So, a hemp ale. Let's see what it's all about. I kind of know what it's all about, but
bring it on. It
smells a little like weed. Just saying.
Dank, as the kids say.
Dank.
I'm an old man.
Kind of too dank. I remember this. Kind of too dank. I had it at their brew pub. It's pretty good. Dank though. Dank. I'm getting more orange at the end of this. Okay. This has really no hop presence. I'm not sure if they want that. I'm not sure what the hell a hemp ale is because it's not a style, and it's not a style.
I think it's an ale that just has hemp in it, and they can do whatever the fuck they want from that point.
Basically, yep. This hemp beer is called Bongwater. Oh, it was a Bar Missoula for hemp ale beer called Old Hemp Beer Bar Porter, actually. And this is how there was a old hemp ale porter, and this is something I don't like. I don't want to hold it up, but I don't know. They did that. They got this recipe off of that, and I don't know. Hemp ale.
I think it's cool that they called out the recipe they got it from, though. That's nifty.
Yeah, and I should while you do your next one, I'm gonna go pull it up. And we'll see what they say on their website so that we can all see it. But it just looks like an easy drinker. It is an easy drinker. The hemp is not overwhelming. I get more of a little bit of it in the nose, but even that kind of dissipates quick. I'm not sure how many people brew with hemp. I'm not sure. There's really probably since hemp is a derivative of weed.
Yeah, well,
But
hemp is the tough part of the plant that doesn't grow the THC. It doesn't get you high.
right.
Also, what you have like CBD oil, people use a lot of that. We use it in our family for certain people who have anxiety, things like that.
Yep.
And that comes from hemp. The THC stuff, that's what gets you stoned. So,
Right. So I don't kind of my point about hemp ale is that like since it's connected to in most places an illegal plant, the research on it is not that good. You know what I mean? So like I can't just come here and say, well, the hemp fell out because that's what hemp does in beer. You know what I'm saying?
not at all.
Right. So there's not much, like studies and you know how they do studies on hemp or I'm sorry, on hops. And we know like different hops go different for I mean they do all these experiments and all that. There's just not that for hemp or I'm not trying to even get on a little platform here, but it's there's even little everybody's doing CBD. Not everybody. There's a big CBD thing going on now, and even there's not even that much research in that because it's tied to a plant that's illegal. So they can't even do the research for it to even say, I guess they can do in some places where it's legal now, but it's even starting to, you know what I mean? It's not like, again, like hops and all this other stuff that scientists have dug in and done dirty work on and said, look, this is what it does. These are the effects, all that stuff. Right. Since it's illegal or the plant that it's connected to is illegal, it just stops all that science stuff, from happening. So I don't know if this is like, I had this in Montana. I don't know how old it was when I got it. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not sure. I'm not getting, again, I don't think I'm not getting that much hemp as far as it relates to weed. We all know how weed smells. Everybody knows it. I'm not smelling that or even tasting that smell. But I don't do the CBD. But I would suspect that the CBD, if somebody did CBD, because you can do that manually, right?
Yeah, you can get drops. You can get edibles for it. There's a lot of different variants to do that. And I have folks in my family who use it for like my mom uses it for back pain. It's fucking great.
So does CBD have a specific taste though to it?
Oh, it does. It tastes terrible.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, like,
okay.
If you're doing like the drops.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So one of my kids has a reason to take it, and I'm not gonna out them because
whatever.
But they take it, and it like just in raw form. It tastes like rough weed. It tastes like that, and he's young, and he's not had weed, so he has no idea why it tastes like that.
Right.
But he'll mix it with things so that it doesn't taste that way. But and you put a couple drops in something, and whatever you put in, it just starts tasting exactly like that. So it's not an easy thing to have. Like, I'm an old guy, so here's castor oil. Like, I tasted a lot of awful shit when I was a kid. So like, I'm like, all right, well, whatever, just give me something to drink afterwards, and like our kids are not that way, so.
Right. So this isn't unpleasant by any means. In fact, this is actually the more I drink it, the more I'm enjoying it. So it's probably not CBD or anything like that. So because the reason I asked you is because I'm trying to figure out there's something to this beer that makes it's like a thing that makes you go but I can't figure out what it is, and it's tasty and it's really nice. I think to me, for you, this would definitely probably be a lawnmower beer. It's really lighter than it even looks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might even be a shower beer for you. I'm not sure.
I would have to try. I've kind of steered clear of them just because most of them seem like they're really hoppy, and I'm not generally a fan of that. But I will. I would like to make a small tangent into hemp if I could, and it's not about weed. My wife works certifying organic farms, and the organic industry has a shit ton of people who grow hemp and get it certified. So they can do CBD oil. You can use hemp to make rope. You can use it to make paper. There's a million. It's a super utilitarian plant. Problem is, it's affiliated with weed, so like you said, it gets drowned out. But in the organic industry, they allow it because of CBD oil, and the organic industry is very big on oils and things of that nature that are more holistic ways of taking care of your body. So, like the idea that it's a bad thing, it isn't. It's a plant. Hops are a plant.
Correct.
It's not some nefarious thing you're getting. And my views on weed are, I've had it a few times. It is not my jam at all. I hate how it makes me feel like I can't move because I'm a fidget. But I don't give a shit if other people's use it. I don't care. I think Chris said it's illegal, but again, that's my little step stool. No, I'll step on that. I just wanted to go on the hemp part because I know in the organic industry that there's more and more folks who are growing that and getting it certified organic so that it can be used for things like CBD oil specifically.
Absolutely. You ain't. I'm the last person. No, there. Yeah, man. It's honestly, in my opinion, it's ridiculous. But we can save that. The whole thing is ridiculous, to be honest with you. And it's really ridiculous now. It's even more ridiculous now that we have especially in America, where there's you could take a dart and you can throw it different states, and it's illegal here, but it's illegal here.
Not over here.
It's a felony here, but if you go 2 blocks, it's completely legal, and you can go and buy 15 ounces of it. It's even more absurd. At this point, so
that's a whole different conversation, and it is. It's a huge conversation.
It's all a damn mess.
And at some point, it would be interesting to have that conversation, but in the middle of a beer podcast, maybe not.
Well, we
kind of pontificated on it for about 15 minutes or so, I think, at this point.
Right. And I don't know, we're not going away. So you see, I love this. I love the website though. You see it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love how I love all this. It's great. So fresh sprung water hemp pale ale. Pale ale, here we go. Okay. Montana grown barley, Canadian grown hemp. Montana loves to roll like that. If you're in Montana and you're a brewery and you don't use their barley, they're probably gonna come to your house at some point.
Great for parties where mass appeal is desired.
Yes. Caramel malts are added to head retention. The thing I wanted to get to was Canadian grown industrial hemp. So notice Canadian grown industrial hemp. I think Wisconsin recently just legalized industrial hemp, which is fantastic because it's a great plant for a lot of different things.
Yeah, it is. And I think you're going to see more and more states do that. There'll be some states who, that are a bit backwards. And I'm not meaning as an insult, that will not see that there's a value in that plant, that it grows really well in a lot of different climates. It has a lot of different uses. Hemp is not there for you to get stoned. Hemp is there as a way to use it for a lot of different purposes. So I think you'll see that becoming more and more popular.
I hope. Shout out for Cold Smoke. This is the Scotch ale. Yes, this is the Scotch ale that is the Scotch ale out there, and it's the one that everybody wants to be. It's really good. It's a really good Scotch ale. Don't get me wrong, I really like it. But That's just the one that just moves everybody out there. So this is before I get off this, it says, look, all beers are brewed with Montana grown barley and hops, or grown malted barley, and then hops from the Yakima Valley, which is right over a pump right over to Washington State there. Yeah, it's just so this helped me figure out what was going on. The fact that it's a pale ale kind of gives me a little guidance on why it tastes like it does. And then I like how it says caramel malts are added to hypertension. And then it's slightly nutty. That's what I'm getting. There's a slightly nutty character in it that is just interesting. This is really good, actually. I like it. It's nice. It's again, it's different. It's different. When was the last time you saw a hemp ale?
Yeah, I see a few of them, but not a whole ton. So yeah.
You've seen some hemp ales, really?
Yeah, there's some in New York State. Hemp
Wow.
is.
You got a hot one.
Not a shit ton. I've seen some, but I think because it's a new thing, it's going to take a while before you see more and more of that. So
next time you see it, grab it.
What's that?
Next time you see it, grab it. I want to hear your opinion.
That's now we got to do that. So, all right, I'm going to go for my next one here if you don't mind, because I've been waiting for this one. So as I said, when you were away, I'm going to do the Southern Tier Nitro Chocolate Milkshake Imperial Milk Stout. So ale brewed with chocolate, sea salt, vanilla beans, and with chocolate vanilla flavors added. It is
sounds delicious.
10% ABV. So
yes.
It's high ABV. But I'm going to open this so you can hear it.
Yes.
Get that whole nitro.
Yes.
All right, so watch this as I pour it because I've had this before and it's fucking awesome. Look at that. Oh, so creamy.
I like the nitro too because then I can just sit there and watch it. It's great.
So I'm going to tell you right on nose, this smells exactly like a fucking chocolate milkshake. That's what it smells. It smells doesn't like any beer at all. It just smells like you have a big, thick chocolate milkshake.
Yum.
Love the smell of that.
Yum. Oh, this desk looks fantastic. It's great.
So this tastes like a chocolate fucking milkshake. It is so goddamn good and smooth. There's a little stout taste on the end, but it's just all like a thick fucking milkshake. It's
chocolate.
Oh yeah. Lots and lots in your face. Yeah.
Who is this again? Southern Tier?
What's that?
Southern Tier?
Yeah. Southern Tier, man, they really do. It's very rare that I find one of their dessert style beers that I don't like. Mm-hmm. This is on par with creme brulee for me. Creme brulee stout, their creme brulee.
Ooh, you went there.
Yeah. Their Blackwater series, which is their heavier stuff, is really good, but this is just freaking superb. I sent a message to Vicky Genson seeing if her and her husband Matt had it.
Vicky, cookie lady.
Cookie lady, man. Although she's so busy making freaking cookies, I don't know if she has time for beer.
You saw those cookies. They're amazing.
Oh, my God. They're fabulous. No, but she's from upstate New York, so I said her, but she didn't respond yet. But it was something I wondered if she had it because she likes all the Southern Tier dessert beers. And
yeah. She's a big stout. Yes. She loves them.
Telling you, man.
It's funny that you thought about Vicky too, right? Because I didn't think about Vicky, but yes, that's a Vicky beer.
Yes, because she likes all those like creme brulee stouts and all that stuff from Southern Tier, all the dessert sweet beers, the heavy stout stuff is right up her and her husband's alley. So I was like, man, I should.
So can you finish that, or are we gonna?
I'm gonna finish this fucking thing because it's so goddamn good that I won't waste a drop of it. That's how good it is.
All right. Okay,
you know your thing. I'm just gonna sip it.
So we have a collaboration here. I'm going through a bunch here. We're back to Matchless again. I got a bunch of these from Montana.
See that?
Juice Bomb.
Juice Bomb units.
Yes, collaboration IPA with Georgetown Brewing. I don't know if you're familiar with Georgetown Brewing.
Not.
They're from Seattle, and they are fantastic. They are amazing. The only reason I know is because I rolled up on them at the GABF, and they were just one of these breweries. Like when you go to the GABF, like the way I deal with GABF is that there's so many fucking breweries, it's out of control.
Yeah.
So I go to a brewery that I've never been before, and I taste one of their beers. If it's good, I'll stay. If it's bad, I'll leave. That's how I work it. So Georgetown, I literally was there for like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Georgetown is awesome. Whatever they brought to the GABF 2 years ago was amazing. So I have high expectations for this one. The only reason I'm going to lower them a little bit is because, again, I got this in Montana. When was I there? And it's an IPA. It smells juicy.
Juicy.
It pours.
Holy shit.
Juicy.
That looks super
Yes.
juicy.
So I don't know. I'm hoping this is the best one of the night. Let's see. Ooh, the nose is it's just hops.
Okay. Which is what you like.
Right. It's a juice bomb, but it's not. It's a juice bomb. But it's not overly juicy, if that does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Overly sweet. How about that?
I'm not sure you like the super juicy juice bombs, though. Do you?
Or the overly sweet ones?
Yeah.
No, because then you
That is
lose your
right.
IPA. This is really good. There's a little bit of a tinge here back there, but it's also, again, like you can see, it's a juice bomb. Can't even see through it. This is great. I love this. I absolutely love this.
What's the ABV on that? Because juice bombs can be pretty high ABV.
Well, let's see what the here we go. I have something pulled up here.
And here we go.
6.6.
Really?
Yep.
I was expecting it to be higher than that, but yeah.
Okay, so how many IBUs is this beer? 0. Well, how many juice bomb units is it? 100. People on the internet are finally sharing the brewer's worst nightmare about IBUs in beer. IBUs are relative to the malt profile, pH, water, ABV. JBU shatters the juice boundaries by letting you drink it and not get caught up in the numbers of beer. Brewed to be pillow soft and taste like every fruit that you've ever had the chance to try yet. It's pretty damn good.
Well, you're enjoying it, so that's good.
I'm a fan. That one I'll finish.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should even get to this one. Should I even do this one?
It's up to you, man, because
we're over an hour, man. Usually we're wrapping up and we're done. And this is a quad.
The Belgian quad is a chocolate quad?
It's a Belgian style quad ale brewed with cocoa nibs.
I've only ever had one chocolate quad, and it was one of the best quads I've ever had in my life. So I'm intrigued, man. Really intrigued.
I got this in Montana. I've had a lot. I don't know if I should probably save it for next week.
And save it for next week, dude. I'm just telling you that one. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
I'm looking forward to it too. I almost want to crack it open, but I can't even show. I wish I could show you the desk here. Yeah, I'll post it in the group for sure. But I mean, I got like, this is kind of crazy here. So I'm gonna pull back on this one. But this is absolutely gonna get featured next week. Look for it next week. The Coca. It's a quad too, so I can, you know how quads go. You can, wait a little bit on that one, right?
Huge fan of freaking Belgian quads.
If I take this quad, it's gonna knock me out.
You might not be able to walk upstairs after that if you drink that thing.
Right. This is why we do this at home.
Yes. It's why I rarely ever drink outside my home, to be quite honest. Like I will go and I'll do samples of places, but like I do not like driving when I've had drinks. So
Right. And as you know, man, we had a conversation. We should probably do a whole podcast on it about whether drinking and tasting. And generally, again, when I'm out, I'm tasting because I'm not trying to get drunk.
yeah,
The whole thing is avoiding a bus. It's not getting a bus. Now, again, if I'm trying, like we're gonna go to New York to drink beer. I'm gonna be trying not to get a buzz the whole day. I want to try and drink as many beers as I can and try and taste them. Again, maybe at night once we get back to the Airbnb, maybe we'll crack open a big, bomber to share or something.
and then we're
We can
not moving,
chill.
so we don't have to worry about it. Like
Right, right.
it's different if you're doing something where you have Ubers or Lyft or something like that, and you're using other folks to drive you around.
Mhm.
You still have to be careful because
Right.
if you're tipsy or drunk, you're vulnerable because you don't have all your wits about you.
Me too, so
So
drunk.
one of those things like the other night, I think it was Wednesday night. Jill and I went to Beer Tree Brewing, which I had their one piece of glassware that they gave me because they brought stuff in. Because the one manager there, Ben, who I'm friends with, I will bring. All right, man. I brought one of those chocolate milkshake ones, and he was blown away by that. I brought in two of the main beers I had last time: the Spruce Ale and the Roots Controller, which is that weird one, felt like Jamaica in your mouth. And I brought a bomber of that had aged for a year in my cellar that was called Siren Song from Omegang that was rum barrel aged. And that rum barrel aged thing was when I got it was 12%. It tasted like it was like 16 or 17% alcohol. It was so boozy. And I have one little glass like this, and I'm like, I got to drive home. Jill with me, and I was like, listen, you drink to your heart's content. I'm fine with that. I'm driving and I'm making sure we're getting home. So it's just one of those things where like I had one sample out of a bomber, but it's not worth it to me to get drunk to just be able to enjoy it. And I can get home and I can have more drinks if I want. So yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, and I'm a complete day drinker. I don't even care. I need to start at 11 o'clock. I need to be done pretty much by 7. Like that's how I roll. I can roll pretty much all day up until that point, but I'm a day drinker. I'm not trying to be out at night. By dinner time, I want to be done tasting beer. This is kind of how it works, man. Like, again, when you're tasting, when you want to go get drunk, that's a different. We could talk about that. But for me, I'm trying to taste. So again, when I'm with you and I'm at home here, I really don't care about all that. I'm tasting too, but at the same time, I don't know. You should see this. I can't even turn the camera on it because it's just crazy. So we should wrap up, my friend.
Yes, sir. All right, so
you have an easier time.
You have a metric shit ton of stuff to get through. So
okay, so look,
you start.
Let's just start there. Here, this was fantastic. For what it was. And I'm not even really a caraway person. If you like caraway or you even like licorice, you would love this because it's subtle. It hits you nice. There's a refreshing little aftertaste to it. It hits you with the caraway a little bit in the middle, but not too much. We don't do many spirits on here, but this is a good one. I've done 2 spirits and I've liked them all. I need to do that Dogfish Head again. A seltzer is what it is. Let's see. I was definitely pleasantly surprised with this goofy beer.
Yeah. I'm happy for you, sir.
And this is, I don't know, this is a Wisconsin staple. And again, in our world, the craft beer world, I say our world because we hang out in the group and all that. But like, this people want to look down on this, but I don't really give a fuck. It's just not generally my speed. Yeah. But if you want to have one of these, you want to have 12 of them, I don't give a fuck. Have them. They're great. They're great. If you like them, they're great. They're really, really nice. I don't know. It was nicer. Maybe I need to go back. I need to do the other one too, but we'll have to wait till next year because it's not. What is it? The lemon? Is there a berry shandy?
Oh, they have several. Berry's one of them. I think they have a pineapple one too. I've never tried the other. The only one that stuck with was the lemon one, just because I like it, and I'm not a fruit beer person very much. so I don't really steer that way. But like, so yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it secondarily, though. So what else you
I
got?
did. I'm not gonna harp on this one, but this one was not what it advertised itself to be. It didn't drink like an IPA, so I'm just gonna say it's not. I would love to try it again. I'll give it another chance for sure because I think I just got it too late. And now the best ones that I had were I don't even. All I know is I had a whole bunch of matchless, and they were all pretty damn good. So I'm just gonna lift them up. I don't know. To me, this was probably the best one I had. This juicy one. I'm absolutely. Let me just pour this back into the finish because that's gonna get finished tonight. That's getting finished tonight. This is a good one. Matchless collaboration with Georgetown, which is fantastic. Georgetown is Seattle. So I suspect that we're never going to see any Georgetown, and I had to go fucking Montana to get Georgetown. So
That's probably one of those things like that was a stretch to get it there.
right, well, it was too because it was my boy who lives in Seattle brought it to Montana, so I wouldn't even got it in Montana. So shout out to Beer Dad, Beer Dad. Yeah, and I had his IPA, really good. I'm sorry, I'm an hour into drinking all this, so Beer Dad, I got your name wrong. I'm sorry, but this is great. And then I don't know, I really like this one, the Bong Water one. It's light, refreshing. There's just something. I guess the hemp is the, thing that make you go, It's an yeah. There's something about this one, that's really nice. And then these two here, the table beer, and then this is the table beer. And I remember this one was the Forgotten Format.
Yeah, the Forgotten Format. That label is awesome. So
that label is pretty fucking cool. And the beer is really good too. Again, light Pilsner. Again, I don't know any beer drinker that would not like this beer, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's just it crosses all the boards. It's light. Again, it's more like the summer. You probably be like, get this away from me, kind of in a winter. But this is, you know what I mean. Like we're not really looking for those. And then this is that table beer, the Heffa, that dry hopped Heffa, basically is what it was. Damn good. And I went through all my stuff though.
Wow, that was a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I tried 8 different beers. That's like what, 2 flights?
You had a spirit as well.
Yes. That's like 2 flights.
Yes.
And normally I would drink like that much of each one. And tonight I did better.
Yeah. All right. So mine are only 3. I'm not as prodigious as you tonight. So the first one I had was the oatmeal raisin cookie from Cigar City. This I had before, and I was like, this is not at all what I expected.
No. Hold on. What did you say in pre-production? Go there.
I had said that this I really didn't like. I actually said that. But because I was doing it, my fucking thing is a theme, and my theme was dessert. Dessert beers are beers that are styled after desserts that you can have. I was like, all right, I got 3 of these. I drank one. All right, let's throw it all together, right? And on me drinking it again, it was much better than I had initially had. And as I said, I think it just might have been one of the days where I wasn't in the mood for what it was. I will say the oatmeal cookie part is there. The raisin isn't there for me at all. But a lot better the second time around. The second one I have, again, I had 2 that just surprised me at how much I like them. This was Neapolitan Scotch Ale, which I was so dubious of. I was so like,
you and me both.
I love Scotch ales, and if you're going to put ice cream on top of it, I'm going to be like, what the fuck are you doing with this?
Facts.
But it was so good. It was just, again, it's a one beer thing. And this is also a 16-ounce can. But
with what?
It's a 16-ounce can. The other 2 were 12. So, like you get it starts vanilla, a little bit of vanilla, gone. Strawberry for a bit, and then down to a very tiny bit of chocolate, and then all Scotch ale to finish. That's all. Like if you're gonna do a Scotch ale like that,
Mhm.
I'm in, because unless you're doing some sort of flavor like avocado, which I totally hate. I am not an avocado fan. Sorry, dude, if I offended you. But
Grr.
yeah, so this just really, really, really ticked a lot of boxes for me that I wasn't expecting. So an extremely pleasant surprise. If you can find it, Roarback out of Rochester had several of their beers. Their
Highly recommend
style
it.
by itself is phenomenal. This was just surprisingly good. And the last one, I had this before the show, and it's I can't get over how good this is, and this is why this will be the winner for me. It's just the Nitro Chocolate Milkshake Milk Imperial Stout. It is. It's like a chocolate milkshake, dude. It is with alcohol in it. It's like,
Mm.
have you ever seen a place that has like slushies that are alcohol? Imagine
Yes.
like a chocolate milkshake that has alcohol flavor in it. It's just awesome. Like you saw when I poured it out, it was like the perfect nitro pour. Sounded awesome when you opened the can. It just
Mhm.
hit all the boxes you want out of a nitro. And then it's a dessert beer on top of it, and it just tastes like a goddamn dessert. Doesn't taste like beer hardly at all. A little stout flavor on the end, but it's an imperial stout. It doesn't taste like an imperial stout. It just tastes like a chocolate milkshake with beer in it.
So there's enough stout in there to know it's a beer.
Yes, that's exactly right. It's just enough to let you know it's not a chocolate
Hi,
milkshake.
I'm here.
I'm like, awesome. That's it. And it's 10% ABV. That's a great thing about it. You don't taste almost any alcohol in it until the very end of when you're drinking. So you have a drink and it's just chocolate milk, chocolate, and a little tiny bit of stout, and that stout had just a bit of booze at the end of it, and it's just fucking great.
You're and again, unless people watch our show and see it a lot, like you're generally very open and welcoming to letting the wife finish a beer or have a beer with you. And you're like, oh no,
No,
not this one.
so this one, no, I got a 4-pack, and a 4-pack I think was
Hmm.
$14. That's a lot for a 4-pack.
Of the
But
small cans for sure.
yeah, so it's
Mhm.
it's a limited release.
Mhm.
It's a 10% ABV beer. I'm like, all right,
Mm.
great. I trust Southern Tier to do good dessert beers. I trust them for it, because that's kind of their, like, they make a lot of great beers, but their dessert beer series are just ridiculous. So I had one, and she wasn't home yet, and I was starting to make dinner, and I had one, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. So I had one, and then I poured the second one, and she comes in, and I said, try this. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Mhm.
And she was like, my God, that is good. And I said, yeah, it is. And I told her, she's like, really? And I was like, yeah, it tastes like a chocolate milkshake. She's like, oh God, it does. So yeah, I let her have some of it. It wasn't like she didn't have any of it. Now then, she had a couple tastes. I was like, all right, give me that shit back. Like,
Right.
but when we went to
Before-
Beer Tree, she had more of it, so it wasn't like she didn't have any of it. So
So before we wrap, have you ever been to Southern Tier?
no, that is a bucket list, but that's like very Western New York State. It's
Right. Well, I wanted to let you know, if you're going to be a Fresh Fester next year, there's a Southern Tier in Pittsburgh.
there is. All right, so you just cemented me going there even more. I was already in, and now I'm like, all right, I'm finding a fucking way to go to that.
I didn't know until I was on the ground there, and I'm pretty sure it was Afro Beard Chick who I got issues with, and we're going to get to her next week. But but no. But I'm pretty sure it was Afro Beard Chick. I was at Fresh Fest, and I was looking on Twitter, and like everyone was together, and all of a sudden she was over at Southern Tier, and I was like, wait, I just saw you. And she's like, oh, I'm at Southern Tier, blah, 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 blah. I'm pretty sure it was her. And I'm like, there's a Southern Tier in Pittsburgh? Like, that's how I found out.
Yeah.
So
but
they have a satellite there, and I didn't know about it.
see, I didn't know that either. And like, here's the thing: I have a kind of I have an iffy relationship with that city.
Oh, well, Okay, but
You should too.
right, correct. And actually, there was a game going on when Fresh Fest was going on too. So, I got all kinds of problems with that city. But again, it's beautiful. If again, it's beautiful. I hate all the teams there, to be honest with you. But the city is nice, and if you get in and get out quick, you'll be good.
Yeah. Well, I'm that way with almost every city. I'll be honest. I get in a city and I'm there for like 3 days, and I need to get the fuck out of here because I'm like I feel like I'm not a claustrophobic person, but like for cities, for me, I love visiting them. I like seeing what the fuck they have because they have more than what I can get here where I am.
Yes.
I a variety of food.
Yes.
I love seeing just all the different styles of food that I just can't get. And so, but when I'm there, I'm just like, there's people on top of people on top of people.
Right.
and I grew up very rural. So like my tendency is to be, I want to be out in the fucking woods, or I want to be not like fucking Unabomber style, but you know what I mean? I like being out in the woods and I like hiking and all that shit. So like I get out in the city, I'm just like, all right, that's 3 days of that. I'm good. Put me back where I belong. I don't belong here. So yeah.
So 3 days. That's all I did. I did 3 days in Pittsburgh. It was good enough. I was ready to go. I was happy to be there. It's really nice. But you're right. You really like that's what I was texting the lady when I was back there. I was like, I really like being in the city because I could just walk to like the great Thai place. I just walked. And for breakfast I could just walk. But there's only a certain amount of time, like I gotta get back. So I'm totally with you. But Fresh Fest is worth it, man. We didn't talk about it again. We're gonna bring it up next week with Afro Beer Chick because that's really where I met her. And I saw her online a little bit, and we corresponded a little bit. But once we met in person, it was just like, oh man, it's like she's electric. So it's gonna be fun to have her on. I can't wait. And again, Fresh Fest, but I didn't know about Southern Tier, and I wasn't even able to get there because I just didn't have it on my schedule. So next year I'm hitting Southern Tier at Fresh Fest. I can't wait to do it. Because I want to, honestly, the thing about Southern Tier is like, and we've already hit it here. We know they can do pastry stouts. I want to know if they can, wherever else they're doing. Like, I want to know if they can do a pills. I want to know what their IPAs like. I have no idea, and I'm really, really fascinated to find out. So that's going to be part of Fresh Fest next year for me. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
They also do a series of beers they're called 2 times. They do a 2 times stout. They do a 2 times IPA. And it's like a series of beers and I don't know what the 2 times mean because I haven't looked into it much. But apparently their 2 times IPA is really well respected. So that's something that, we should explore. I'd love to see what they bring there. I'd like to see them bring not just their flagship shit because their flagship shit is awesome. It's not, I'm not saying that their stuff isn't good. I can get that here. I want to see what kind of oddball stuff they can do. That's where I really think, like when we talked about Fogtown last week, the thing that I loved about them is their just ability to build flavors into beers is not something I've seen a lot of. And it's this tiny little brewery in Maine, but they build a shit ton of different flavors into beers that I'm just like, I'm not sure how you're doing that, but that's great. Like I don't know. I want to see people do weird shit.
And beer is food. People remember that beer is food. So don't feel bad if you look for those depths of flavor that you find in food and beer. Like it should, if it's a really good beer, it should be there. Where you're like, oh, it hits me with the sugar first, or it hits me with the citrus first, and then in the middle, I got more hops, and at the end, I got, that's how it should be. Depths of flavor, absolutely. So, Doug, this is one of the longest times we gone just by ourselves.
Yeah, and I'm but we had such a good time, dude. This is the best thing about this is I just have such a good time bullshit.
I do too. I actually the thing about it too, this taught me that I should do more beers, especially when I have a backflow over in that wonderful fridge of mine. I'm just gonna come out and just do a whole slew of them, especially when I ain't gonna spend really much time on that crap like this. With all due respect, again, you like seltzers, you go. I'm not going to talk down on anybody.
Agreed.
As long as you have a good time. Like I even said on the Facebook page, join us and have a good time, or just have a good time. And that's just the way life is.
Agreed.
So on that note, cheers.
Cheers, folks. Later.